I feel like anybody who know us know that we go into those games with a lot of energy and a lot of...
I know. I know.
We go into those games with just a chip on our shoulders. You know, we walk into every game just with a fearless mentality, and everybody on this team has had a crazy night. Like, everybody brings what they bring to the table, and at the end of the day, I think that's what makes us so special is we're all okay with who we are. I think that come in respect of I can look to my left and look to my right, and I know they want to win.
Welcome back to Sometimes I Hoop. Today, we've got a true veteran superstar on the pod. Quick, humble brag. She led Colorado to an epic Sweet 16 run last year. Recently hit her career high 34 points against Utah, collecting Player of the Week accolades left and right this season, not to mention all while working on her second master's degree. None other than Jaylyn Sherrod. Thanks for hopping on the pod.
No problem.
So excited to have you here. But before we get started, the ultimate finesse. Can we go back to you getting 2 master's degrees during your time at Colorado? What is that about?
When I initially signed here, I knew I wanted to leave with a master's. I didn't think that I would finish my undergrad in 3 years. And it was a lot of grind going into that. I was taking like 7 classes a semester at one point.
Jesus.
But when COVID happened, I switched to all online, and that really worked out for me, just in terms of being able to really focus in on school. And I also had surgery going into the spring of 2021, I think, I want to say. So I was able to take a higher load of classes because I wasn't really focused on ball at that point in time. So it just all worked out. And then last year, I finished a master's in leadership. And then this year, I'm doing one in criminal justice.
Dang. Honestly, COVID was horrible, as we all know. But in terms of school, Zoom, you could really knock out a bunch of units quick. No problem.
Yeah, it was nice.
But I know from playing you guys, y'all have a different type of energy, honestly. It's unparalleled. And I feel like your Sweet 16 run really kind of propelled you guys into the spotlight that you are now. Because it's different when you're in the Pac. It's really only West Coast people watching the games. And so they're always like, oh, how good are they? And I feel like everybody in the Pac respects you guys so much that now you're getting the national respect that you guys have deserved for a while. Back into that LSU game, after the game, you got Shaq coming in, you got Candace coming in. What did they say to you guys that, that really resonated with you heading into the rest of the season?
I think we were just a surprise to them, more so because, like you said, not a lot of people really see Pac-12 teams and know what we're all about until March, pretty much, is when, we are finally seen on a national level. So I think Shat talking to Erinette was huge, just for her confidence, just for her to, finally, get the recognition she deserved, because Nettie's always the one that, she comes in, do a work, and Nettie go home. It's business. And she never changes her emotions. She's very steady. And that's just the type of player she's always been. So I think that was a real boost for her confidence. And then Candace coming in, just talking to the team and giving a shout out to Coach Jay, just really show all the work we've been putting in. At first it was just to be good, but now it's to be one of the best teams in the country. We always are underdogs, so that was good, but we always had that underdog mentality of we still got more to prove. So that was just how we took that game onto the rest of the season.
You played against a lot of top players this year and a lot of good teams. But do you feel like there's been kind of a player under the radar that you've maybe been surprised by or doesn't get enough spotlight in the national light in terms of just how good they are?
It's a couple people.
Okay, list them off. List them off. Give out more than one shout out.
I think the kid at Arizona State yesterday that gave us about 33 or 34. She's nice.
That'll do it.
She's really nice. Even Erinette, I look at Erinette as somebody that flies under the radar. But she's just so dominant. I think you don't realize that until you play against her. But for her to be able to move the way she moves, with just the smoothness and grace that she plays with, is just, it's different. I've never seen, other than maybe Peely. You really don't see bigs move like that and be that efficient, because she's not even really that tall either. Yeah. But she just puts a lot of work in, and she's really good.
Being able to play against her because she started at Arizona, but I also played against her in like club when I was in high school. And so to see her development of where she started to where she is now, it's actually insane. Even just the jump from last year to this year so far, she's a completely different player. She's extended her range, you know, like you talked about, just her footwork around the rim, her finishing, learning how to use the size and strength that she has. I think it's really making her a beast this season.
And she runs the floor so well too.
Yeah.
That like, even I said it against when we play Utah, like she opens up so much for so many other people because you have to pay her attention and most people have to double her. Yeah. So then you're doubling off shooters or you're doubling off people that you can't leave open either. So that gets free to the game going. Or she's running the floor, you have to worry about her in transition. So that opens up slices. I mean, she just across the board is overall one of those players that, you know, just draws so much attention that it helps everybody else on the team. So I'll give it to her. And I don't know, I wouldn't say Papa's still kind of underrated, but I think being at South Carolina now has really allowed people to see what she brings to the table. And I've always had a lot of respect for Papa just because of how she comes to the game. And she's actually a really good person for most.
She is like, so nice.
She's so nice. And just seeing her do well at South Carolina, you know, just, you know, especially when she was so dangerous at Oregon, and playing against her for so long, just really, you see a lot of people get their flowers that has always kind of deserved them in the pack.
You guys have started out hot, and your player of the week across the board, literally, Jaylyn. Like, you talk about AP, USA, Pac-12, whatever. So, you know, it's not easy to get 34 in Utah. So what was it coming to you? Were the shots falling? Did you know you had to take over? What was that game like?
I attribute a lot of the success in that game to our energy and just how we came out. And specifically, like, I made a complete effort to come out fast, come out hot, come out just with a sense of urgency because you get down against Utah, it's very hard to come back, especially with the offensive powerhouse that they have. And so I think that was just more so the mentality of just, you know, wanting to come out fast and put us in the best position to where we could weather their runs because Utah's going to go on runs. It's just what they do. They can come down and hit you for 3 straight threes in a row and it's just like, whoa.
It's bound to happen. And so it's different people.
I think it's just, you know, having that mentality and knowing like they're going to do what they do.
You know, Utah, it could be McQueen hitting a 3 and then Peely and then Vieira. Like, it's across the board.
Back to back. Like
there's no stopping. All of a sudden, and they're not slowing down. Utah's a great opponent. And then Arizona was a close game. What can you say about Arizona and just the strength of their program right now? And I feel like people are kind of overlooking them just because they don't have that ranking and they're not the powerhouse that they've been in recent years.
For one, McKale is a hard place to play in because they have a crowd behind them that, you know, you don't really see a lot in women's basketball. And it's very, as an opponent going into it, I think you can look at it from both perspectives, but it's welcoming and unwelcoming at the same time. I like to think about it because it's welcoming because so many people are coming out to watch women's basketball. It's unwelcoming because that is another opponent that you have to face.
And they love them some Adia.
And it's just like, especially when they go on runs, it gets loud, it gets deafening. You can't hear you can't hear the play calls, you can't hear your coaches. It's very, very deafening at times, especially when they really get going.
You've been there through Colorado's ups and downs. And so you've been kind of that pillar that's kept them going to get them where they are now. So do you feel like it's kind of hard for those younger players coming in?
Yeah.
What is that like with all the differing kind of experience levels in the locker room of where they've all been?
Yeah, a lot of people talk about our veterans, but don't realize we brought in 7 new people too. So it was kind of polar opposites, and trying to bridge that gap between the two was huge. And then we added 2 transfers too, one from Mizzou and one from Michigan, who had their success at their own programs before coming here. So it was just really bridging the gap, and I think we were very intentional about the things we did over the summer and in the off season to try to bridge the gap to know, like, we worked so hard to be good, but now it's time to be great. And I think that's the mentality that we all had to have, and switch between, like, we're not going to sneak up on anybody anymore. We're not going to be that team that, people go in and don't really know much about. But at the same time, like, we haven't won any championships. We haven't really etched our names in history books in terms of bringing a championship, Pac-12, Natty, whatever the case may be, to Colorado yet. So I think that's just more so the drive at this point. Being grateful but not satisfied.
Yeah.
It's kind of the mentality that we had to kind of instill, just not in the newbies, but us too as veterans, because like I said, we had grinded so hard to be good, but now it's like, all right, we are good. You are a good team. You got that respect, but now it's time to be great. What makes you the 1% out of the 20 that is good? So I think that's the mentality we just had to take.
Throw it way back. Heading into your freshman year, what was kind of your mindset changing from high school basketball, where you hadn't gotten to finish your senior season, heading into now playing in one of the best conferences, having a good non-conference schedule? What was that like?
My first Pac-12 game was against Oregon when they had Sabrina and Satu and Ruthie, and we lost by 60. I kid you not.
That'll do it.
And it was the whole crowd, and they were screaming. They were yelling the song "Shout at You," and it was
that is so stressful when you're there. Oh my God!
Like, this can't be real. This can't be real. But at the same time, I think after that game, a reporter came to me, and I think my mentality didn't change. I said, they still got to come play us in Boulder.
Yeah.
I think that same year we played you guys, and that was the first time like we had actually competed, and it was at Maples, if I'm not mistaken. I had that was the first game.
I remember I wasn't there because that's when I had my knee injury. And so I remember watching from home and I was yelling at the TV the whole time. And I remember so specifically because that was like, I don't want to say, well, you have to tell me what your coming out game was, but I remember you dropped like 21 that game or something.
Yeah,
and I remember
overtime. We went to overtime. Yeah.
I was yelling at the TV, somebody stop her. Get in front. Like, I was pissed.
And I think that moment, for me, was that moment where like it kind of changed the mentality of like, yeah, Stanford's human. And I think with that, it was we just really built off of that year to year to year. And I think I would say that Stanford game my freshman year was the I guess shift in myself as a player to just be like you can really go out here with not being the best of the best, not being the 5 stars, 4 stars, and still be able to compete with these people.
I wanted to talk about me and you, and I feel like I've always respected you so much as a competitor, and then over the years, getting to chat more after games, before games, whatever, joking around, really coming to respect you as a person as well. So I'll give you my first impression of you, and then I'll give you time to marinate and think about yours of me, because we didn't know each other at all until I don't know, sophomore, junior year. What I've always really admired about you as your game first is, like you talked about earlier, the passion, the drive that you play with is really unparalleled, and that energy that you bring to the game. Because every time I knew I was going up against you, I was like, okay, because I'm usually pretty cool, calm, collected out there. I just be jogging around, sprinting around. It looks like a jog, but I swear I'm trying. And I'm just like, you have to match her. Like, you have to meet that intensity. Otherwise, you're not going to compete. And so seeing that, but then also every different player that you played with and who you have on your team now, I think it's really special to see how they all look at you. And I know for you, and I was like this too, I was like, I'm not even like that. I just be out there doing the thing. Like, it's hard to give yourself that grace, but from an outside point of view, I see how your teammates look at you, how they come to you when they need you in times of need. So that's my little giving you your flowers that you deserve.
I appreciate it. Initially, I was like, this girl is 6'2", point guard. Who about to guard because on we would do like scouting stuff, we would set it up, and we were like, well, she's the point guard, but she'll also post you up. And I'm like, so what do you want me to do? What are we gonna do here? Especially, but I would say more so, anything that I've always really admired is just how poised you are. Because I know, like, even we've had a lot of close games, and I
We
just feel
have.
like it was always like steady, calm. We need to score. Okay, I got it. I'm about to go post this 5-6 kick up, and we gonna get a bucket. But no, seriously, I would just say just really poised and really like I feel like the ball was in your hand, and it was always like you know what you're gonna get, but it's like you really can't do anything about it.
Diving into what we were talking about earlier a little bit, just with like people getting love. I'm gonna run you some names, and I want you to. No, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Okay. I want you to give me just like a quick 2 bullet point of like a scouting report or like a hype around how maybe not the scout, maybe not the scout, but like what they do well, something special about them. Give them their flowers, like we were talking about. Okay. So we'll start off with Kiki Rice at UCLA.
I think this is good for me because I think people think I'm just so intense and so fiery all the time, and I'm like, I'm really chill. I really appreciate people's game. So
okay, well, let's see it.
Kiki Rice, I think she does a great job in managing the team, especially coming in as a freshman and having to manage such a dynasty type program too at UCLA. I think she did a great job of that, and I also think she does a great job of learning her teammates. You could tell she put the work in to learn her teammates, to know what they do well and how to put them in the best position. So I think she really embodies what a point guard is.
Next one, we were talking about Arizona earlier. So we're going to do 2 for Arizona. We can do Jada Williams and Kaylin Gilbert, and then you take it in whichever order you want to do.
Williams, I say just the fire she plays with reminds me a lot of myself. You could tell she's really passionate about it. She's that emotional leader already for them. And I think overall, too, just a good teammate. You could tell she pours a lot into her teammates. Gilbert, from just what I've seen, she's more on the quiet side. But I think she's more of that, like, silent assassin to where, like, she just knows how to maneuver within defenses and within how you guard her to still get what she wants out of it. So I think, especially, I think she's nothing but a sophomore, but knowing that early really allows her to progress her game in the future. So I see big things for both of them in the future.
My last one is I've known this girl's a bucket since the first time we played her, but Miss Gianna Neepkins, however you say your last name, girl, she's a freaking bucket. Like there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. So tell me about Gianna.
She just reads the game really well in terms of how you play her, because you want to play her aggressively, but at the same time, you just have to be smart with it because Utah's offense in itself is very intricate. But at the same time, she plays so well within it to where, like, if you overplay her, she's going to backdoor you. But you get caught up in overplaying because she can shoot the ball so well. So it's just like pick your poison type thing. But wishing her a speedy recovery and hate that she's not out there. Yeah. But once they get her back, I think Utah is going to be in a great position, especially with her being part of their future. So I think she's just tough to guard overall because she can do so much.
I just remember we played her as a freshman and we had Anna Wilson guarding her. And I'm like, okay, already props to you, Miss Freshman. You got A. Willie guarding you. Like, you're a bucket. Right. And I remember she hit this like mean step back behind the back 3. And Anna just looked at me and she was like, yo, she's tough. I was like, okay.
Yeah, she is.
First of all, stop letting her score, but we get it. Give her props. I'm going to give you 3 items and then you got to let one go. Which one you're going to cut?
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll do a simple one first, just like a game day routine. So you got to cut one of these 3. You got pregame meal, shoot around, and warm up music.
Shoot around.
Yeah, duh. They can go.
Only because in the Pac we play at 12 on Sundays.
Yeah, so that's early.
Shoot around at 8 o'clock is just crazy.
Yeah, I don't need that in my life. I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah, so I only say that for that part because I definitely could take the sleeping in to maybe 9, eat, and then come straight to the gym for the game.
Okay. Yeah. So then next question is very specific to you. We got Legos, Greek mythology, and Shakespeare. Which one are you dropping?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I gotta let go for good.
Let go for the foreseeable future.
Definitely not Legos. I have 3 downstairs that I am about to start, so I can't let that go yet.
Okay.
I would say Shakespeare, but
it can go.
Yeah, only because I have a quote tatted on me, so it's always with me forever, even if I let it go.
The loophole.
So, yeah, I would say Shakespeare because Greek
Okay.
mythology is just it's so much to unpack. Like you've never
Yeah.
done it all, so it's just so
Yeah.
much more to learn. And yeah, but Shakespeare is already on me forever, so I would feel confident in being
I think that
okay
was our
with letting
hardest.
him go.
That's our hardest question all day. It was what it seems like. That one
Yeah,
got you. It got you. And then our last one on this topic is we got shoes. We got Dunks, Jordan 1s, or Uggs.
I would say Uggs. I would say Uggs.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay,
Yeah,
Uggs.
I would say
Dang,
Uggs.
even in Colorado, I know it's cold.
Yeah, but I mean,
You'll find a way.
Crocs, Cameras.
Fuzzy
I can get some
socks. You got
Crocs. Yeah,
options.
we can get some warmth in there somewhere.
Okay. Okay. Head into our last section, the vibe check. It's going to be rapid fire. Some guests are horrible. Some guests are great. So I believe in you. I hope you're going to be on the great side.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. What's the drill you never want to see on the practice plan?
Piston passing.
Oh, is it like
No
full court or
question.
something?
No, it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like passing. It's a full court passing drill that comes with layups.
Oh,
And
were you just going in a loop? Is it that one?
yeah, but it's two teams, so you have white team, black team.
Yes,
and it's like
yes.
6 players on the court. I had a terrible experience with that, and
Uh-oh.
it was just it was not good. It was not good. It was not fun, and we recently put that drill in this year. We haven't did it as much as we did last year, so I'm crossing my fingers that stays the case. But
I'll send up some
piston
prayers for
passing
you.
can go
Would you rather have a game-winning shot or a game-winning steal?
still.
Okay.
Still.
And 1 or 3-pointer?
And 1.
Off the court, go-to sneaker?
Go to I would have to say my red dunks.
Okay, a classic. A group TikTok or a solo TikTok?
Neither.
Neither. I know you're not really a TikToker.
Not at all.
Okay.
They trying to get me into it though.
Oh, I hope they do. I want to see you in some. Toughest place to play on the road?
McHale.
Yeah. Or like when Sabrina and them were there, Oregon with the shout. That
Oregon
was tough.
Crazy. Oregon was crazy.
Oregon's tough.
Very scary.
Who's the biggest trash talker
that I've ever played, or that's in the pack? Oh, that I've ever played hands down is Caitlin Clark that I've ever played.
Okay. And then what about in the pack?
Cameron Brink.
Okay. And then we got hardest player to guard.
I gotta shout out Ty Skinner. She's not playing at Arizona State right now.
Oh my God, a bucket.
But she is a problem. She's a problem.
Yes.
And yeah, that girl doesn't get to put her on the
sleeper list. Yes.
That girl is good.
She's so good.
And she's a problem.
Yeah, she is. Scouting her is hard, and then even just executing it, horrible.
Because she's so quick. Like it's fast, but then you have quick, and she's quick.
Mm-hmm. She is quick. Okay, what's your biggest basketball ick?
I really hate the road shorts, road jersey look.
Mm-hmm. Like one roll is cool, but when it's like too much,
like when they just I don't know, like when you tuck them in and stuff, I just don't like that.
The diaper pants, not for you.
Yeah, my girlfriend's gonna kill me because she's one of them.
I'm weak. Okay, who's your basketball GOAT?
Candace Parker. I gotta give it to her. Yeah.
Okay. Now we need you to pick somebody on another team. It could be someone that you played against, someone who you have it, to be your 2-on-2 teammate.
I would say Cameron Brink. I think our energy together would be dangerous.
Yeah, you two would have a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what's your favorite pregame hype song?
Right now it's Ecstasy by Young Thug because the beat just goes really hard on that song. Yeah.
Gotcha. Good. And then last question is your best impersonation of Coach J.
I don't have an impersonation. If I could stand and show you, I would. But Coach J trips over invisible lines all the time.
Does she?
And then they'll sit there and say, "Oh, it's a line right there," and it's nothing. She just tripped. And so,
Miss ma'am.
If I really could stand up and show you, I would. But Coach J really does trip over lines like it's her job, and I don't know why.
But it just gets her.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
It gets her all the time. Coach J once a day.
Yeah, Coach J, number 1, cut piston layups. And number 2, work on your balance, because what are we doing?
Yeah.
But Jaylyn, this has been so great. Thank you so much for coming on.
No problem. It was fun.
Thank you to everybody for listening. We'll be back next week with another episode of Sometimes I Hoop. Thank you.